Welcome everybody to qualifying 2 here at Hockenheim. It's round number 9 of the Formula Renault Eurocup. A dramatic race yesterday and the championship fight well and truly on as we go into race number 2 today. My name's Chris McCarthy. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. If you missed yesterday, let's just bring you up to speed with what happened as we look at Paul Aron currently in pit lane. 20-minute qualifying session coming up for you today, which will set the grid for the race later, which will go live at 4:05 local time here in Germany. Set to be a dry day, so I'm sure there's going to be fantastic racing coming up for you. But going back to what I was saying yesterday, Caio Collet, it was a lights to flag win for him. Despite having to deal with 2 safety cars, he went on to win by 2 seconds over title rival Victor Martins. Now, he went into that day 33 points behind Martins. He leaves it 26 points back. So he can bring that gap down to below 20 points today if he takes another victory and Victor Martins finishes in second. Looking at the points, Victor Martins, all he really needs to do is finish second in every race and he will be champion. But there are still 3 races to go. Anything can happen, as we know. And they're already racing in pit lane. There we go. Victor Martins finished in second place. Drivers getting ready to take to the track very shortly. Alex Quinn actually finished in third place. The top 3, it was a fight between them, really, although there weren't much battling, as we see Victor Martins on screen, championship leader. There was a fight in terms of gaps coming down and extending. There's Alex Quinn. He was the third of that 3-car breakaway, 3.4 back at the flag. Some people might think that is a substantial gap, but when you take into consideration that Franco Colapinto, who finished 4th, was over 8 seconds back from the leader, it doesn't look so big then, does it? So a brilliant race between those 3, a fantastic fight, even if there wasn't much overtaking. And you'd have to say any one of those 3 capable of winning today. There is Ugo de Wilde. He didn't get very far in the first race yesterday. Was taken out by Peter Pacek going in towards turn number 1. Pacek has received a 2-place grid drop for that incident going in today. Now, there was quite a few incidents, a lot of penalties being given out. Amory Cordial received a 22nd penalty. There's 2-place grid drops for both Pacek and De Juris got one for overtaking under a safety car. Belov and Van der Helm both received 10-second penalties for a jump start, and then there was a 20-second penalty as well for Hadrian David after he made contact with Paul Aron down at the hairpin when they were battling for 5th on the final lap of the race. So that left the race as so. As I said, Collet, Martins and Quinn were your podium. Franco Colapinto would go on to finish 4th, with those penalties ahead for David and Van der Helm, and Aron, of course, running into trouble on the final lap with that incident with David. Colombo actually jumped up to finish in 5th. It was a much needed result, that for Lorenzo Colombo, and that's moved him up to 6th in the championship. So a good day for the Italian. He didn't have a good qualifying, so it was actually a very good recovery for Lorenzo Colombo, who started down in 13th place. David Vidales, one debatable move down at the hairpin, but it was seen as fair in the judges' eyes, and David Vidales, a good drive from him, 15th to 6th, much needed for the Spaniard, who is in the fight for 3rd in the standings. William Alatalo finished in 7th, his JD Motorsport teammate. Tiemann van der Helm finished in 8th place. Aron, with that penalty for David, jumped ahead of the Frenchman to finish 9th. Hadrian David in 10th, and it was Laszlo Toth, Amory Cordial, Nicola Marinangeli, Michael Belov, Rashid De Juris, and then our non-finishers, Saucy, De Wilde and Pacek. Pacek, after colliding with De Wilde, did not go any further. So the clock has started ticking. It's a 20-minute session, as I said. You can see we have 18 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Not everyone desperate to get out there on circuit, though. Few drivers have made their way out. Hadrian David, Pacek, De Juris, Toth, Marinangeli, Colapinto, currently the drivers who have gone out on track. But there you can see Victor Martins. It's all for Caio Collet to do in this championship. He's got himself a gap. That was helped with the incident that Caio Collet had back at Imola, and he was taken out on the first lap of race 2. But he's in a position now where he doesn't actually need to beat Caio Collet. As long as he finishes second, he'll go on to become champion. With the gap at 26 points, there is a 7 points different between first and second. So, you know, quick bit of maths. If he finishes second and Caio Collet wins the next 3 races, he will still win the championship by 5 points. He'll know that. However, Victor Martins is not the kind of driver, certainly the Victor Martins that I know, that will be happy to settle for second in every race. There's no doubt he's going to want to go and win races when he's in them. More drivers just making their way out of the pits. That looks like Alex Quinn making his way out. Closely behind, I think that's Lorenzo Colombo following in that number 53. There is the number 3 of Michael Belov. Needs a good result today. Not the best of races for him yesterday, Michael Belov. He received a penalty for a jump start, so his race had a big impact before it really got started. Caio Collet is the next car along in the Renault livery car. And then we've got the 92 next along. That is Victor Martins. The 91, Paul Aron. And then the 93 about to leave. That is Gregor Salsi. So the ART drivers all going in tandem there. Hadrian David has set a lap. Pacek likewise. De Juris, Toth, Marinangeli, Colapinto all set lap times. But just the one so far getting themselves up to speed. Set to be another dry day, as I said at the head of the show here in Germany. Hopefully we're going to get some pretty good racing. Yesterday, I think the drivers would have had a bit of a talking to, because there was 1 or 2 few incidents in that race yesterday. Something that kept the stewards a little bit busy, so they'll be hoping for a much cleaner race today. I think it was a case of, you know, championship end is nearing. Drivers doing everything they can to get some last points on the board. Tyres still being warmed up. There you can see Hadrian David in the number 17, Renault Sport Academy back driver. Will be a bit disappointed though that he had that incident on the final lap. It was a kind of lunge down at the hairpin gone wrong really. Locked the front and he went straight into the side of Paul Aron. A shame after that. Before that, it was a really good battle. Here's our race winner from yesterday, Caio Collet. 2 third places he got here last year. First, see if he can get another one today. There's been 3 drivers in our 4 visits to Hockenheim that have taken both wins on the weekend. They are Scott Speed in 2004, Kevin Corjus in 2010, and Max Futrell, who races in the same team as Caio Collet's RHGP. He took the win on both days in 2018, and all 3 of those drivers would go on to become champion. Here's young Hadrian David making his way now up towards the right-hander at turn 11. Quick entry into this. Titans on the exit. It's a blind entry as well. Drivers are telling me you can't really see the corner when you get to that point. You've just got to trust you know your turn-in point. Banked corner this, so you can take more speed round it. Hadrian David, I think he's about to set us a marker here. Our pole time yesterday was a 1:36.833, so that gives you an idea of what we are working towards. We're well off that at the moment, as you can see. Takes a couple of 2 or 3 laps to really get the tyres up to temperature. 1:43.9 that time for Hadrian David, so we're still warming up here in Hockenheim. We have had a qualifying session go out. DTM Trophy was just out on circuit doing their qualifying session. So we're not the first cars here at Hockenheim that are going out on circuit. So the track does have some temperature in it, even if it is still a little bit colder than what it would have been for the race yesterday. Let's watch Hadrian David. So this is the blind entry corner at T11. You've got to be really careful on the exit here. As you can see there to the left of our screen, There is a gravel trap there, and you don't want to get stuck there. This is where it was all going off yesterday, down at this hairpin. As you can see, it's a long run down to that hairpin. But if you lock a front tyre going into there, you can get boxed in. You know, a lot of drivers sometimes will make a move in avoidance of an incident. But at that corner there, because it's so tight, if you're trying to avoid a driver ahead, then often you're going to collect someone else. Amaury Cordial, we're not watching him on screen. We're still on Hadrian David so far. He looks like he's on a bit of a flyer, and now we pick up the number 71 in his second year of the championship, Amaury Cordial. Spanish F4 champion in 2018. He makes his way up towards the start-finish line now, and across the line he goes at 140.6. We're still about 3 seconds away from that time yesterday. We saw Hadrian David still warming up his tyres. I still think there's time in this here, and we still haven't seen the likes of Collett set big lap times yet, nor Victor Martins. Coming down towards us, this looks like one of the it's the number 3 RSGP car of Michael Belov. Nicola Marinangeli comes across the line now. Here is the number 52, the Italian Marinangeli, making his way around the first corner. Tricky first corner it is as well. This is Tiemann van der Helm, the number 73. Makes his way up towards turn number 8. Van der Helm, who had an 8th place yesterday in a fight with Paul Aron for 11th in the championship. Now, we've talked about the fight for the championship lead quickly before we call Tiemann van der Helm across the line, as I'll let you watch him go around the final stadium section. Colapinto, Vidales and Quinn are all split by 17.5 points, with Quinn and Vidales tied on 151 points, Colapinto on 168.5. So that's still far from decided, and that's one championship battle we will follow throughout the progression of today. But we come back to Tiemann van der Helm just as he's going to cross the line, and he goes quickest, 139.143. We're getting closer to that 136 we did yesterday. The track, there's a potential that the track still could be slower, but here we go. Hadrian David out of the final corner. He makes his way up towards the start-finish line, and he's going to go 4th quickest, 142.1. That's why he was about 4 seconds slower. That's into turn 8. Very easy to do. Lock a front into there, and that's going to take time out of his tyres. Here comes the number 52 of Nicola Marinangeli up towards turn number 1. Setting some purple sectors as he makes his way through. Tiemann van der Helm, we're going to come back to him now. Alex Quinn has just gone to 2nd place. We've got De Juris out there in 3rd. Cordial, Colapinto is up to 5th place. Saucy, Toth, Pacek, De Wilde. Tiemann van der Helm. Personal best for him through the first sector, as you can see, 21.6, lighted up green, personal best that means, and personal best through sector 2 as well. The FA Racing driver now making his way up towards the hairpin. Tiemann van der Helm, a world champion when he was in karting back in 2014. Here we go up to the line. This is the number 93 of Gregor Saucy. Paul Aron behind him, who we're following in terms of lap times, and he goes quickest. Paul Aron, the Mercedes back driver, 138.5. Great stuff that from Paul Aron. Caio Collet has just gone across the line, 137.8 for Caio Collet. Brilliant stuff that from Collet. We pick him up on screen now. So we are getting very close to the pole time that we saw yesterday then. There you can see Collet making his way now down towards the hairpin. Eight minutes and 40 seconds to go in this race. Collet starting to wind it up here. Here's Tiemann van der Helm. So our quickest time so far, 1:37.8. Our pole time yesterday, 1:36.8. We're just 1 second slower now from what we were at yesterday. Here is Van der Helm. He makes his way up towards turn 11. We're going to pick up Lorenzo Colombo in the black livery car there across the line, and he goes second. 1:38.1 for Lorenzo Colombo. He needs a good qualifying yesterday. He moved through the grid yesterday with a good qualifying. I have no doubt that Lorenzo Colombo can challenge for a podium. Timo Van der Helm, he was quick in qualifying yesterday, qualified on the third row. Can he get to the second or maybe even the first today? He comes out of the final corner, makes his way down the start-finish straight. Timo Van der Helm across the line is going to go third, 1:37.9. Great stuff from the Dutch driver. Looks like Collette, I think that might have been who crossed the line. Here comes Amaury Cordial. He makes his way up to the line now, and he goes fourth, 1:38.077 for Amaury Cordial. That's only 2/10 slower than what he did yesterday, which put him 11th on the grid. More time to find, I feel, and I think Victor Martins is about to do that for us. He's gone purple through the first sector. Here's the number 92 ART driver on your pictures now. He's making his way up towards turn number 8. Easy to lock a left front into here, but no problems for the Frenchman. Turns his way through 9 and now in towards turn number 10. We're going to come back to Victor Martins because first we're going to see Lorenzo Colombo come across the line. He's now on screen for you. The Italian, 2 corners to go. 1:37.5 is now the time to beat, which has been set by Victor Martins as he comes up towards the line. Lorenzo Colombo goes quickest, 1:37.166. Great stuff that from Lorenzo Colombo, only 3/10 slower than the pole time from yesterday. Here comes Victor Martins. Can he beat it though? He was in provisional pole. Can he go back there? Victor Martins up to the line. Yes, he does. 1:37.083 for Victor Martins. 2 purple sectors as well. So Victor Martins, the championship leader, now becomes the man to beat. Lorenzo Colombo is in second place. Here is Lorenzo Colombo. These two starting to get into a bit of a boxing match here for pole position. Aaron is in the top 5. Quinn likewise. David going very quickly out there as well. Hadrian David. Lorenzo Colombo. Did this potentially lose him just a fraction of time? No, that looked pretty good to me through turn number 8. Just a little bit of curb. That's how you want to do it. No traffic either. He did have a car ahead, but seemed to catch it at just the right time. And there you can see no one settling off the car through turn 1. And inch perfect on the curb on the exit. Lorenzo Colombo is flying, but I feel he could be delayed here. I think that's Colapinto ahead of him. Colapinto, who is gearing himself up for a lap, may even be on a flyer. Lorenzo, oh dear, no, Lorenzo Colombo's had to back off. What a shame. He had done 2 purple sectors, and Lorenzo Colombo has felt the need to back off. He's going to be very, very disappointed with that, but he's still got 5 minutes to go. We've got a way to go in this session, ladies and gentlemen. David currently sits in third. Martins, Colombo, David, Quinn, Aaron, Collette, Colapinto, Van der Helm, Vidales, and De Juris. That is currently your top 10 so far. We're waiting to see the likes of Alatalo, who did pretty well yesterday, really make his impact in this session. Victor Martins comes across the line. He's currently quickest. Backed off on that last lap, so he's going for another flyer on this one. 4.5 minutes to go. Paul Aaron in the background, his teammate. The other ART car looks to be in the background, which is Gregor Saucy. Aaron knows he's got pace for a potential podium here this weekend. If he can get that, it would be his second of the season, replicating his first podium of the year, which also happened in Germany. The Estonian likes to race in this country. Here's Alex Quinn. We haven't seen much of him in this session. Looks like he'd done a purple sector as well, so hopefully we'll pick him up soon. 4 minutes to go in this session. Cars filtering across the start-finish line. Martins is quickest. Colombo is in second. Quinn making his way round towards the start-finish line very shortly. See where he can go in this session. There's just 3.5 minutes remaining. We go back towards Gregor Saucy. Gregor Saucy up to the line. Here's Lorenzo Colombo. Okay, what can he do on this time? Lorenzo Colombo makes his way round the final corner and up towards the start-finish line. Colombo had to back out of his last lap. He's gone for another, and this time he does go pole. 1:36.956. No traffic that time for Lorenzo Colombo, and it's the quickest time of the session. Alex Quinn, when he crossed the line, went to third place, by the way. Here's Aaron, though. He's just behind him in fourth place. Aaron up to the line in the tow of his teammate Martins, and he goes third. So that demotes Quinn to the outside of row number 2. Van der Helm coming up to the line in the background. He goes to fifth place, Van der Helm, as he comes across the line. Oh dear, but a mistake there for Van der Helm. Lap ruined. He will get one more at the end of this. Hadrian David is 6th. Belov is 7th. Colette all the way down in 8th place. He's got work to do. Amory Cordial is 9th. Colapinto is 10th. Oh dear. Richard de Juris there. Huge lockup from the Frenchman. And he's going to struggle on those tyres, as demonstrated there through turn 1. Outside of the top 10 is De Juris, De Wilde, Saucy, Pacek, Alatalo, Toth and Marinangeli. Here's the mistake again from Van der Helm. It looks like he turns in far too late to me. He's on the curb going in, which unsettles the car as well. But you could probably just about see the racing line. Van der Helm was not on that. Oh, look at that from Alex Quinn. An inch away from the gravel. Would have had to take a bit of a breath after that one, I'm sure. We pick up Lorenzo Colombo. Lorenzo Colombo went quickest. He's going to gear up for one final lap. As you can see, just cooling the tyres down a bit. Now he goes for one more. We often see that at the top level of this sport. One flying lap, one settle down, one more flyer. Martinzo, is he about to knock the Italian off of pole position? He comes up towards the start-finish line. No, just over a tenth, 1.5 tenths back. Less than 2 tenths between our top 3 here. In terms of our top 10, they are split by just over half a second. Hugely close in this session, as we see Hugo de Wilde. He's currently outside of the top 10. Is he about to put himself into that top 10? He's not done any personal best sectors. We've got a minute to go in this session. Anyone that's just started a lap will be about to start their final one, de Wilde included in that. Round the final corner comes to Belgium, up towards the start-finish line. Hugo de Wilde qualified in the top 10 yesterday. He's just outside of it at the moment, though. 12th, 1 lap to go for him. De Juris across the line. He's just come across the line. There goes David Vidales, who currently sits down in 9th place in this session. Here's Franco Colapinto. We haven't spoken at all about young Franco Colapinto. Currently 3rd in the championship, the reigning Spanish F4 champion, making his way up towards the final 2 corners. He's stood on the top step a couple of times so far this season. Can he get himself to a pole position, though? He comes up to the start-finish line. Franco Colapinto, this is going to put him 7th, so 4th row currently. That's 1 row back from where he was yesterday. The flag is now flying. Colombo is happy with his time, but what about Martins behind? He comes round the final corner. Can he knock Lorenzo Colombo off of pole position? He comes up towards the start-finish line. No, he can't. 2nd place for Victor Martins. Paul Aron comes across the line behind. He is currently 3rd. Here's Caio Collet. Where's he going to go? He needs a good time here. This is not good a session at all so far for Caio Collet. He comes across the line now, and Collet cannot improve, so he stays in 8th place. What a disaster for the man in chase in the championship. 8th place, he's going to have one hell of a task to do later. Richard de Juris, let's see what he can do as he comes round the final corner. He's carrying a 2-place grid drop, as is Pacek. He comes up to the start-finish line. He's currently 12th. He goes 8th. He will be 10th in the session later. I think this might be Franco Colapinto in the background just coming up to the line. In fact, it's Peter Pacek who comes up to the line. Flag is flying. Colombo is going to be on pole position. Brilliant result for Lorenzo Colombo. He took pole position back at Imola, and in that race he would go on to finish 3rd. So it's a 2nd pole of the season for Lorenzo Colombo. Back to back in terms of race meetings. Victor Martins, a brilliant session for him, especially given Kaio Collet is all the way down in 9th place. He will gain a couple of positions due to drivers carrying grid drops ahead, but nevertheless, that is a bitterly disappointing session for him. Martin second, Aron, that's just what the Estonian needed. 3rd place for him. He'll be absolutely delighted with that. However, that man there, the number 17, the man that collided with him yesterday, will start directly alongside him. That's going to be a feisty battle between those two later on. Colapinto in 5th place. Quinn, 6th place. I think he'll take that. Van der Helm in 7th. De Juris will drop to 10th. Graduate, promoting Colette to 8th. Belov to 9th. So Paul Aron, he will start 3rd place when we go racing at 4:05 later on. A fantastic qualifying for him. Can he emulate the podium he had back at Nürburgring? 2nd place, Victor Martins, championship leader with his championship rival down on row 4. That is a very, very good qualifying performance for Victor Martins. Can he get back-to-back wins here this weekend? But Lorenzo Colombo is going to be the man who starts on pole position. The 2nd time the Italian has taken a pole position this year. Can he get his first win of the season? Well, all will be revealed later. Here is a full result for you. Colombo, Martins, Aron. Martins won here last year. Can he take another win here this year? Colombo, Martins, Aron, your top 3. David, 4th place. That's a very good performance for Hadrian David, looking for his 2nd podium of the year. Carrying on from his podium, he got at Imola. Colapinto, Quinn, Van der Helm, De Juris, Colette, Belov, and then we had De Wilde, Vidales, Cordial, Saucy, Alatalo, Pacek, Toth, and Marin Angeli. Vidales, a bit of a bad session. He's tied on points with Quinn. Quinn starts up on row number 3. So the battle for 3rd in the championship definitely firing up. The battle for the lead well and truly on as well. But Lorenzo Colombo is going to be the man who starts from pole position. Make sure you join us 4:05 local time here in Germany is when we will go live for race number 2 of round 9. Look forward to seeing you there.